feet 1 inches. Number 17, Dennis Schroeder. Half forward, 6'8", number 13, at the other guard position, standing 6'5", number 8, Zach Lee. At small forward, 6'6", number 10, starting at center, 6 feet 10 inches, number 11, the head coach of your home team. Once again, the starter for your Sacramento Kings.
The starters for Utah, Markkanen and Kessler are the big men. Collier is out there with Keontae George, and it's Bailey in at the 3. And for Sacramento, the vet pair on the wings with Levine at the 2, DeRozan at the 3. The duo inside, Murray and Sabonis. And it's Schroeder in at the 1. And tonight's, Dan, we have a matchup featuring 2 teams with similar systems.
Yeah, look, neither of these teams is ever going to be in a rush. They're very patient offensively, and it's more about player movement and ball movement than it is about pace.
Here's Bailey, back to Kessler. Kicks it out to Markkanen. Markkanen with a screen on Levine. Shot clock at 6. Utah needs to get off a shot here. The 3. Rebound by Sacramento. 4-3. The rebound by Markkanen.
Well, the defense got lucky there. More often than not, he's making that shot.
Here's Kessler. And finished off by Kessler.
Well, what I love about Walker Kessler, he's a 7-footer who plays like a 7-footer.
And Grant, after last season, a new front office taking over in Sacramento, trying to get them back in the playoffs.
Yeah, and after ending their record-breaking postseason drought in 2023, the last 2 years have seen the Kings again outside the playoffs. They're restless to get back there in the mix.
And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
Doug Christie gave me a few minutes to catch up with him. We talked about Lauri Markkanen, and I asked him how he wanted his players to guard him tonight, and he said we can't afford to lose sight of him out on the perimeter because he's a big that can really shoot it, especially when he's operating in the pick and roll. It'll be interesting to see how Markkanen fares against them in this one. Guys, back to you.
Appreciate the report, Allie. Now here's Levine. DeRozan outside. From outside the arc. Always a nice way to start. Makes his first one.
I love how decisive DeRozan was on that play. He knew he was going to put that shot up well before he caught the ball.
For Utah, they've gone 1 for 3 so far. George outside. Utah moving the ball around. Pass to Collier. Markkanen with a screen on Schroeder. Here's Bailey. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Markkanen. That's good. His first made shot in 3 attempts.
Well, Markkanen poses such problems for a defense. He's got a variety of ways to score inside.
DeRozan passes to Schroeder. From outside, off the mark. Utah has gone 0 for 2 from outside. We've got 1:28 left in the first. Here's Collier. Pass to Kessler. There's the drive. And finished off by Kessler.
Well, when a 7-footer like Kessler goes on the drive, it spells trouble for any defense.
Kings trail by 3. And so now a timeout called by Doug Christie. Coach taking this moment to speak to his guys, maybe alter some of the game plan. in for the Kings. Malik Monk comes in for Schroeder. Filipowski, he's checked in for Utah. Williams comes in for George. First quarter of play, and we're about 3 minutes in. Šarić against Kessler. Šarić, the pass to Monk. Šarić, a screen. A little mid-range shot is up, and it's Monk missing.
Well, that's a miss you can live with. I expect they'll go to it again, especially if the defense continues to concede it.
Pass to Collier. And there's the lob. Monk with a steal. Murray for three. Nails it from beyond the arc.
Yeah, this is the kind of confidence you love seeing. Murray not thinking twice at all about firing away. A savage reverse jam. That takes great body control.
No question. He was making a statement right there, man. And so it's Levine with it. He brings it up for the Sacramento Kings. Trailing by 2. Šarić, a screen on Williams. 5 to shoot. Back to Levine. Launches it. Good. And it's DeRozan who picks up the assist.
Well, he's such a natural talent. Has all the skill needed to produce at a high level.
So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Sacramento on top, up by 1. We've got more in store for you right after this. And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even on the scoreboard so far. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Kings.
Well, the coaching staff's game plan is very clear. Move the ball on the perimeter and shoot the shots with no hesitation.
And another thing, they found the open man. Really playing unselfish basketball, moving the ball around there on the perimeter.
So the Jazz 5 right now. We've got Lauri Markkanen. Kyle Filipowski is out there with Jusuf Nurkic. Then it's Williams. Three-pointer. It's rebounded by Sabonis. The Kings lead by 4. And a contract extension this summer for Jazz head coach Will Hardy.
Well, one of the youngest head coaches in the league. He has the respect of all of the other head coaches. He's part of that Spurs coaching tree, and his extension runs through 2031, which is a nice commitment from the Jazz.
Now here's Monk. No points so far. Sabonis with a screen on Williams. Monk for 3. Another 3 for Sacramento.
Easy look when the defender isn't fighting over the screen.
Yeah, it's certainly worth it to disrupt the offense. Coaches notice that extra effort.
And so Will Hardy calls a timeout. We might see him looking to make some tweaks to the strategy. Some changes for Sacramento. Zach LaVine comes in for Davis. And it's Dennis Schroeder in for Ellis. All right, let's get a report from Allie.
Thank you, guys. The Kings going into last season, bringing an experienced closer in DeMar DeRozan. Domantas Sabonis said it's what we needed. More veterans. We're a young team. We all know we're good, but it never hurts to have one of those big-time NBA players on the team for confidence, for backup, for everything. Back to you.
All right, Allie, thank you.
We all know he's a good shooter. But from that distance, I don't think so.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's jacking him up from way out there these days. You want guys to stay within themselves. Well-placed pass in the hands of a guy ready to attack.
Levine against Markkanen. Shot is good by Levine.
Yeah, the mid-range shot is not a lost art for Levine. He's a very skilled guy in that area.
And last season, the most efficient shooting season of Zach LaVine's career.
Yeah, BA, 2.5% better in his free throw shooting. He would have had a 50, 40, 90 season on his hands, but his scoring is top tier.
The Kings lead by 7. Here's Sabonis. Goes up and lays it in nice and easy. Sabonis has got his first 2 points.
Yeah, the touch of Sabonis around the rim. I mean, it's fantastic.
Markkanen outside. George outside. Takes it inside. And George with the jam.
Hey, when in doubt, Run the defender off the screen.
And you know, with a result like that, we'll see them run it again.
Yeah, defensive breakdown there. Gotta communicate and switch that screen.
Sacramento has gone 2 for 2 from the arc here in the second. And so now a timeout called by Doug Christie. A moment to rest and confer on the game plan. And coach, the Kings know they need to get better defensively. But do they have the personnel is the question.
Well, so much of defense is about your commitment to making multiple efforts, in particular contesting three-point shooters, an area they've struggled in tremendously. If you're starting to fix something, start there.
Now here's Monk, outside Levine. Here's Eubanks. Count it, 1 for 1 to start the game.
I like that. Punch it inside. You usually end up with a good shot and or get fouled.
43 seconds left in the first half. Pass to Kessler. Utah moving the ball around. For 3, George hits a three-pointer. George has got 5 points now this quarter.
Well, this is why George's coaches encourage him to keep shooting from deep, because they know he's only going to get better.
Sacramento leading by 6. Now here's Levine. 5 points in the game.
Well, he's a bit of an undersized center. However, his leaping ability can certainly mask that.
.20 seconds left to play in the first half of basketball. Here's Collier. Yet to see a basket. George outside. And a miss there on the triple. And so it's Sacramento finishing the quarter with an 8-point lead. Great shot selection right now. Keeping the game simple and getting high percentage looks. We'll be right back after this word. And happy you could join us. We've got 2 quarters left to go in regulation. We've seen Walker Kessler really having a great game.
He's been dominating down low. Gotta assume they'll keep feeding him the rock.
Well, that's certainly what I'd do. Until the defense shows they can stop him, ride the hot hand.
All right, we've now got our 2K insider, Shams Charania, on the line. He's got a special report. Shams, it's all yours.
Thanks. Well, this new three-point era started with Stephen Curry, and it's really in the last decade that we're seeing the long-distance game extend to the center position. You look at the list of recent champions, it seems it's also not a luxury, but a necessity to have a paint presence who can also stretch the floor from deep.
A nightmare to contain. All right, Shams, appreciate the report. Schroeder and Levine are the backcourt. DeRozan and Murray in at the forward positions. And it's Sabonis in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the 5 out there for the Kings. Bailey's shot is off. And here's Sabonis. He'll bring it up for the Sacramento Kings. Levine can't hit. For Lauri Markkanen, a really talented scorer, Stan. How do you think he's fared with more responsibility?
I think he's done very well. He's a prototypical stretch 4 who scores at an efficient rate, and with his elevated role, he's just grown in his confidence.
Jazz trail by 8. Pass to Collier. Jacks up a 3. The Jazz again can't hit.
Well, that's a shot the defense felt like they could live with, and it worked out for him that time.
A chance to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. And here's Bailey for 3. Zach LaVine clears it away. Sacramento leading by 8. And from the sideline, let's catch up with Allie.
Thank you, Brian. Keegan Murray wants to excel at both ends, and he said, quote, "My defense wasn't where it needed to be, so I got a little faster, a little stronger, tried to figure out how to be physical defensively and be effective. Them trusting me to guard helps the other guys so they can focus more on offense." Back to you, Brian.
Okay, Allie, thanks a lot.
2 minutes remaining.
Now here's Markkanen.
2 minutes.
Pass to Collier. 1:51 left in the third quarter. 6 to shoot. Markkanen sets a screen. For 3, George hits the trifecta. George has got his 3rd bucket of the night.
We haven't seen many buckets like that one. These teams have struggled to dial in their shooting.
Yeah, the score is also the result of quality defense. These teams are almost doing more on that end.
Now here's Murray, and it's good. Credit Levine with the assist. Levine's got 4 assists in the game, and so Will Hardy calls a timeout. I think right now he might be looking at some adjustments. The Kings making a switch here. Monk's checked in, and Utah with a change here too. Filipowski, he's checked in for Markkanen. And over the 5 decades of the Jazz franchise history, almost half of those years they were coached by the great Jerry Sloan.
Well, the Jazz were a team that took on Jerry Sloan's toughness and a willingness to fight at all times. Those days are in the past, but they still echo in Utah.
Nails it from 3.
Well, Bailey is a shot-making machine, particularly off the catch at this stage.
George against Levine. DeRozan right side. No good on the 3. End of quarter management here. They can go 2 for 1.
Make the math work in your favor.
Utah moving the ball around. Pass to Collier. From 13. And the shot no good. A bit short. Sacramento leading by 5.
You'd like to let the clock run and take the final shot.
Yeah, unless it's a gimme, there's no reason to put up an early shot here.
Outside Murray. Monk for 3. The third quarter comes to a close. Kings ahead, up by 5. And time for a short break. Stay right there. The fourth quarter is coming up next. Man, I know I speak for all of us when I say I can't wait to see what kind of finish awaits us here in the fourth quarter. So the Jazz 5 right now. Kyle Filipowski is out there with Lauri Markkanen. Then it's Jusuf Nurkic. Then it's Williams. Here's Nurkic. Eubanks brings the double. Williams from long range. Hauled in by the Kings. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Levine surveys the D. On the wing, Levine. Over Nurkic. Levine can't hit. Jazz trail by 5. Back to Filipowski. Pass to Markkanen. Williams in the post. Charge covers. And out of bounds. Sacramento will have it.
Well, that's an unforced error. If you want to drive your coach crazy, that's the way to do it.
And Doug Christie has called a timeout. He is not messing around. Calling them into the huddle. And Sacramento with some changes. Sabonis, he's checked in for Eubanks. Murray comes in for Saric. And DeRozan is subbed in for Monk. Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Over that last break, I got a chance to hear what Doug Christie said to his team. And Coach reminded his team that leads can disappear quickly in the NBA. He said if we get loose and they make a few shots in a row, then this is a ball game again. Do not let that happen here, guys.
Great work, Allie. Thanks.
Well, I've been here before. You're looking to get back in the game, but desperation threes are not the way to do it.
Now here's Sabonis. And here is DeRozan. Nope.
Oh, this is exactly the kind of opportunity you don't want to waste.
Here's Kessler, tipped. Oh, Sabonis with the steal. Now Murray. Sabonis, left side. Levine against George. Clock at 6. Puts it up from 12.
DeRozan drawing a lot of attention there.
First personal foul. First team foul. Shooting for Sacramento. DeMar DeRozan.
And that hurts as he doesn't get the first one to fall. Trying to focus now for the second. And he's able to hit the second one. And that stretches their lead to 8. For the Jazz, this one not looking good. Nothing doing offensively yet for them in the fourth. Murray against Markkanen. And stolen by Murray. Here's Sabonis from downtown. Booyah! He sinks the triple.
And if you give him a good enough look, Sabonis will make you pay from range.
Markkanen charges in. Bailey. Can't hit it.
Yeah, there's no reason for the defense to get out on him right now. Just let him keep taking that shot until he shows them he's going to knock it down.
And the clock will wind down on this one. Just a solid effort and a good win for the Kings.
Well, they were focused on being productive at the arc tonight.
And it ended up paying off big time. Just an overwhelming performance.
And as most people predicted, the defense, even though they were keying on him, had no answers for Domantas Sabonis.
He has really stood out tonight with his work on the glass. You can see the extra effort coming through.
36 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Nurkic. Yes! Using that window! A great fourth quarter, just giving up 2 points. Monk outside. Jones outside for 3. It's off. Fires the 3. Knocks down the trifecta.
3.
And now we've got an intentional foul.
Number 13. First personal foul. Second team foul. At the line for 2.
He hits the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. So he gets them both, and it's an 8-point ball game. Now a timeout called by Utah. 8 seconds left in the game. All right, guys, what's your take?
And time's running short. They just couldn't get over that hump.
Well, I've been in this spot more times than I'd like to admit. All you can do is tell your guys to hold their heads up and finish strong.
And so it's Sacramento with the W. This one was a fun one to watch. They were clearly in the driver's seat down the stretch.
They really were, B.A. They played with great intensity on both ends of the floor, and they didn't allow their mistakes to get the better of them.
And that'll do it, folks. For Stan Van Gundy, Grant Hill, and Allie LaForce, I'm Brian Anderson, thanking you for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.